I'm gonna pick out a game that's gonna literally make you cry. You ready for it? Halo Reach. Halo Reach is literally Bungie's masterpiece, its swan song, the bow on top of its most perfect franchise. It's literally the perfect Halo game, and one that will literally bring you to tears. The game released in 2010 and was Bungie's big send-off. The game featured an incredible multiplayer, a firefight mode, which, you can kind of go both ways on, and a forge mode that is by far the best in the entire franchise. But what really doesn't get a lot of love, in my opinion, is the campaign. The campaign itself is by far the best that I think Halo has ever had. The campaign is set before Halo 1 and takes this idea of these super soldiers with insane abilities and makes them seem more human and realistic. I think one of the best things this game does, besides giving each Spartan its own personality, is allowing the player to use their own customized character as the protagonist. It kind of feels a little rewarding while also adding an extra layer of you actually caring about the character you're playing as. Like, it just felt extra rewarding to play as the character that you worked so hard to build through the multiplayer, act as though it was in the campaign with all these other characters. One of my personal favorite things throughout this campaign is getting to know the characters. Carter, Emil, June, George, Kat. Because not only does each character have their own unique skill set and own abilities, but they all look vastly different from one another than just being a generic copy and paste version of Master Chief. As you progress, you start to notice actual personality traits in these characters, which is vastly different again than just being the Master Chief who's just the strong silent type. My personal favorite thing from this campaign is getting to know each character through each mission. There are times the game will just literally set you off with one character individually. Yes, sometimes it kind of leads to each character is fun to get to know, except for Kat. Fuck her. I'm just gonna spoil it right here, because this is like a, 13-year-old game. Everyone dies. Besides this guy, who literally is like the, nah, I'ma head out G meme. What's interesting is each of these characters dies in an ironic way of their actual skill set, or personality trait. Carter is the captain that will go down with his ship. Noble 6 is the lone wolf that actually starts to build relationships with his team, and then ends up dying as a lone wolf. Kat, the brains of the operation, dies from a round through the dome piece. Emil, the close quarters expert, literally just dies at close quarters. And George, who is the big heavy man with a heart, who's native to Reach and wants nothing more than to protect it and give his life for it on Reach. Instead, he gives his life over Reach and not saving the day. And it's from the minute George dies that everything gets worse and worse. As the minute you start to gain some bit of hope, everything quickly turns to this bleak outlook for the planet that you're trying to save. And it's from that moment where every mission that feels like a win ends up turning into a loss after a loss after a loss, as the entire Noble team starts to quickly dwindle down to one. And let's get one thing straight, you will cry. Unless you have like no heart, then I guess you won't cry. But for me, every time I play this game, every single time I jump into this campaign, I always tear up by the end. And maybe that's because I'm an absolute wimp, or maybe because I have some sort of heart left, or maybe it's because this beautiful score by Marty O'Donnell, or maybe it's because of the natural progression of the campaign, each mission feeling different from the last, or just the fact that the scale of each mission gets bigger and bigger. Regardless, there's something here every time I play the game. It's just a very emotional campaign every time I go through it, because there's a level of connection you actually develop with these characters that are nothing more than super soldiers with really unrealistic abilities. Or realistic, I don't know what the government does. I'm not gonna spoil the entire campaign, even though I just told you every death in the campaign, so I guess I just totally ruined the experience. But I do recommend, if you have the opportunity to play Halo Reach, to jump in and play the campaign. The multiplayer is like good. I've always enjoyed it, but I really feel like the key thing you should experience is the campaign, because I think it's by far one of the best, if not the best, Halo campaign that's ever come out. And I promise you, you will cry. And if you don't cry, I mean, it's fine. You're just like partially a monster if you don't. Anyways, I'd like to know what you have to say in the comment section below. Do you think Halo Reach is one of the best Halo campaigns to ever exist? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed the video, great. Maybe consider leaving a like or even subscribing, because it helps out the channel. But if you didn't like the video, well, it doesn't get much better than this. And as always, I'd like to thank you for watching, and well,